Well, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen calling for a trade overhaul, pushing for countries to become less reliant on China and instead trade more closely with allies.
To be clear, China has benefited enormously from being part of a global system, a rules-based multilateral system. And I think we ought to try to preserve the best features of that system, a system that's been beneficial to the United States and to our allies, while working to address the real problems that have emerged, including unfair Chinese practices that damage our national security interests.
We want to bring in Yahoo Finance reporter Dani Romero. And Dani, in that speech, she used the term friendshoring, something that she has brought up in the past. What did you make of the comments that we got from Yellen and what this could mean for our trade policies going forward?
Yeah, I mean, you can really hear in that thought that she's really singling out China right there. Oh, and, you know, China has received a lot of criticism recently from the Biden administration on a number of issues. But like you said, she really pointed out on friendshoring, which is the terms onshoring and nearshoring. It's combining those two, which really means that, you know, they want the supply chain to come back home as opposed to really relying on the globe, on foreign countries. But another thing I will say is, but these talks over supply chain really comes at a time when China and South Korea are there's a little bit of increasing competitiveness right now in the global commerce. China has the strongest correlation when it comes to selling their goods, when it comes to selling abroad. And that's because China is now becoming more technology independent. And so they're not really relying much on South Korea. So that's causing a little bit of that tension. But Yellen really made it clear that she's not indicating that we completely not rely on foreign countries and make everything back to the U.S.
It was almost like a desire to be clear. I'm not talking Trump America first,
yes,
but something threads the needle between the two. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see.
And it's been interesting also just stepping back and just looking at the Biden's administration's rhetoric when it comes to China, because we know there has been so much criticism just in terms of the fact that the Biden administration doesn't seem to have a plan when it comes to China.
Policy at all.
Policy at all. So we'll see how that comes out during the midterms, whether or not that ends up being a huge issue.